Alright, disregard everything I just said, we're going to take a risk. I'm back in the car. You're watching me talk. It must be major time. And that's where I'm headed right now. We are in Brunswick, New Brunswick, I should say, New Jersey, for the Players Championship. And the bowling center that we are going to is legit one of the best venues for bowling in the United States for one main reason. It's not the lanes, it's not the players area, it's actually because of behind all of that. And if you're wondering, well, what could it possibly be? It's you guys, it's the fans. The people here are some of the greatest fans of bowling. And so I'm really, really excited to get back to what was once called Carolier, a famous name in bowling. It's been nearly 10 years, actually I think over 10 years, since we have walked through the doors of Carolier, which is now a Bowlero bowling center. So the players are super pumped. Social media is a little hyped right now. All the locals are talking about what they're going to do, who they're going to see when they walk in. And so it's a big day. Today is the first day, the round one of qualifying. We are moments away. I'm pumped to do these vlogs again. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss all of the behind the scenes from the Players Championship. It's the last major of the year. It is going to go off, so keep following along. So there's a lot going on this week, and it's a little bit more confusing than normal. But if you look that way, you'll see there's an entire bay of bowling lanes. This bay is separated from up these steps. Now, here's where it gets a bit confusing. This lower bay had the entire lane surface replaced. Upstairs, they only replaced one panel, the front panel. And so the way the PBA have scheduled the lane draw this week is normally you would just move across the whole house. Well, we're split into two squads, A and B, upstairs, downstairs. And so you will bowl your first round in your bay, and then the second round you flip bays. And the idea is to make sure that all players have equal games in both Old Bay and New Bay. So I'm in the Old Bay to start the tournament off. So we'll go for a walk and then we'll see how it goes. Now to go back and get the rest of them. Alright, so one of the things you'll hear that professional players will talk about is, I hit a bad pair. Actually, a lot of people say this, but here is where at the professional level what we mean by we hit a bad pair. So behind me is a whole series of graphs, and that's the lane mapping that Kegel have done of the entire house. And that lane mapping will tell you the topography of each lane. So let's take a closer look at one. So let's look at lanes 39 and 40 as an example. What these colors represent is the more red area, the lane is actually tilted from right to left. The more blue, it's tilted from left to right. So typically, for right-handers, the more red you see, the more hook that you're going to have. The more blue you see, the less hook. And so looking at 39 and 40, you see that there's quite a lot of hook in the front part of the lane, but then there's also quite a lot of blue down the end. And so when we say, oh man, I hit a pair where there was a lot of hook in the fronts and it was super tight down lane, this could be a huge reason as to why. And so now you've got an entire house graphed. Some lanes hook more than others. Some lanes don't have any red. And that's something that's really tricky to navigate when you're crossing pair to pair across the house. That's why when you get a good cross with a couple of pairs that are really good, you got to try to take advantage of that. So what we're trying to see is we want to see more lighter red colors down the end and a little more blue in the front. Doesn't look like there's a lot of blue in the front in this place. But that's all right, we've all got a bowl in it. So that is what Kegel have done to give us a little bit more insight into our environment, and then hopefully we take advantage of that. You got guys like Richie, taking his photos of every pair, doesn't want to forget them.
Exactly. Just trying to stay ahead of the curve.
So the good news is he's taking the photos, so when I need to know what's going on,
you're right, Jay. Yes,
I'm going to say, Richie, send me those photos.
I'll send them.
Alright, so last night we're talking to the ball reps, and we have some new bowling balls on the truck, the Duo in particular, so we got to drill a couple. I think they're on the truck. I'm going to grab them, throw some grips in them so they're ready for use. Yeah. Do we have mine on here or are they inside? They're here. Yeah. Another reality check here too. So sometimes my tour reps will surprise me with an extra one. Cheers, boys. Okay, so the other interesting fact about this Players Championship this year is we're bowling on 2 different oil patterns. For the first day, for the first 2 rounds, we are bowling on the Don Carter, which is a 39-foot pattern, which it's a little tricky. And then tomorrow is on the Dick Weber, which is 45 feet. And that played a little bit easier, in my opinion. So today, 39 feet, Don Carter. I think they're going to be a little bit tricky, especially in this lower bay, the lower numbered bay. It's actually quite confusing because it's higher than the other bay, but the numbers are lower. So you don't know if you say it's in the upper bay, but it's in the lower number bay. This bay seems to play a little trickier for that Don Carter. So hopefully I can stay super patient, make some really good shots early, get off to a good start. If we can do that, it definitely makes the rest of the day a little more comfortable. And as you know, I really got to stop starting in last and then trying to make a run to the show. It's getting exhausting. So let's try and change it up and go the other way. Start at the top and hang on. You can see that urethane ball is starting to get a little lazy down lane, so I either need to go to another urethane ball with a bit more surface on it. I'm going to either change my speed to get it to shape a little more. I can move a little further right. I'm going to a bit worried about doing that in case there's a little traffic out there. Or I can ball change to a reactive. So a few things I got to think about. I've got about 12 seconds to make a decision. So hopefully I pick right. Nearly gets right. A little bit more curved down lane. That's what I want to see with those urethane balls. See them actually going through the pins like that. We'll make a move. We'll see how long I can hang on to this ball for. Wasn't the finish to that last game we were hoping for, but that urethane ball is getting a little bit tricky now because I've got to create angle with it, but if I get it to that friction a little bit too soon, it just hooks too early. I think we're going to make a ball change. We're going to go to an idle, which is just it's got a little bit more surface on it, symmetrical weight block, and we'll try to control the back part of the lane without getting forced too far left. See how it looks for the first few frames. If it doesn't look good, we'll start rotating through some reactive. If it looks great, let's go. Games that is super frustrating. You bowled really well, you thought you were in the right part of the lane, and you just had a whole bunch of stubborn corner pins getting in the way. We'll make another ball change though, make another lane play move, try and open the lane up a little bit and get a bit better angle through the pins. We nearly got through a full game where we didn't leave something on the back row, but the shot shape and the ball change to the reality check looked a lot better. Now we've gone down the other end of the house, so there is a slight variation. So now you've got to start to think about, do we change anything? Do we leave it as is? So I'm going to throw my first shot just a little bit different. I'm going to move a little further left and try and open up the lane a little bit more. I'm going to stay with the reality check and let's not leave any more in the back row. Right? Like, I'd be happy with anything except pins on the back row. Alrighty, that was a good one. Caught a little hit in the middle there where didn't let it go so good, but we capitalized on it, buried the next few. 260 will bump me right up there. So we've got a couple of games left. Couple of games? Yeah. 2 more games. The idea, just keep doing what I'm doing. I feel good, feel very calm and relaxed. I'm very patient. Yeah, it's nice. You feel this way every time you shoot 260. Maybe I should just shoot 260 every game, then I feel like this all the time. So here's a really good lesson when you're bowling on a pair with multiple people. If you are the second player or third or fourth, it's really critical to watch the other guys or girls on your pair and study what their ball motion is doing. So this game here, the plan was to just do what I was doing. Everybody on my pair, everybody went high. So that's telling me, well, you know, if they're seeing their ball motion over hook, it's probably going to happen to me too. And so studying what happened to your opponents can really benefit you. So I moved 7 boards left and I went dead flush. Now if I'm not watching or paying attention, stay where I am, I probably go high as well. So just a little help for you guys if you need it. So there you go. Both lanes, 7 boards difference, but because I was aware and watching my opponents, I got some good information and it helped. Now we make a run for it. And so let's rewind to the very beginning when we looked at those lane map graphs. Well, 3rd, 10 and 14 has way more red than any other pair in this bowl. That may not be accurate. Any other pair that I bowled on. Probably need to specify that. So you can see how much more it's hooking. Well, you've got the lane map is saying that the pair is going to hook more, and therefore everybody's choices on this lane is to migrate further and further left. So not only does the pair hook more, now bowlers are migrating left more, taking the oil away more, and so it just exaggerates that lane graph mapping as well. Interesting stuff. Another one of those games. Could have been, it felt a lot more than what I've got. We've got 1 more frame to go. Somehow Houdini a couple of strikes. And then start strategizing for the lower bay. Alrighty, 204 over. That last game fried me out a little bit because definitely could have been a little more. We knew that pair was hooking. Thank you. It's raining. We knew that pair was hooking. We made the move. Third frame was a bad shot, and so I was hoping that we could just catch a string there in the middle and get to 220 something. Would have been great, but it's okay. 204. So we've got a couple of hours break as per usual. There's not much time in between to like decompress and re-strategize, but that's what you got to do. So I'm going to quickly grab something to eat and then come back and probably have a chat with my tour reps to see how that other bay played. Steady start. I would have liked to have carried that 10 in the 10th, but 240, decent start. They're playing considerably different in this bay, and so all the gossip around the sheds has been nobody was really hooking it in the last set. Straighter is greater, and so I'm going to try to manipulate my ball shape to keep doing it a little straighter. Fingers crossed. And now I need to take a big deep breath because I'm not even sure why, but I'm missing way too many spares. And I don't know why, because I shouldn't be. It just puts you under so much more pressure to throw better shots. So I think I just need to like find my zen and just kind of get my core temperature down a little bit, and yeah, see if we can't just accept what happens and then just take out a little bit more time, just make sure of these spares. It is killing me, so I gotta regroup. Alright, core temperature has decreased a lot. Left a couple of 9 pins, which, you know, that game could have been a lot higher, but I felt a lot more in control of myself. And so I've got a couple of games left, and I'm going to try and keep myself at this level. And we're going to try and kick that 9-pin out, trip a couple of 4-pins, messenger a couple of 10, put together a couple of good last games, and then have a good night's sleep. So, yeah, just got to stay with it. The urethane, I don't think I'm going to get out of it. I don't think it's really time to be doing anything crazy. So a little bit of a patience game, which I think I need to be right now. I need to dig in deep. Getting just a few of these little sucker pins that just break a string up. But that's okay. I really don't feel that comfortable out there. There's like 5 things that I want to change to, but the strategy is more along the lines of if we do something drastic, sure, we might bowl a huge game, but I've seen a lot of low scores out there too. Normally I am a huge risk taker, but we are so early into this tournament, I don't think it's really necessary for that huge risk to come into play just yet. So we're just going to try to really make sure that our ball goes through the pins the right way. We're going to try and bowl another good game. Hopefully we do string those strikes together. But again, try and keep that core temperature down. Let's just get through the night. Come back in tomorrow and, different pattern. Never know what's going to happen. Let's not give away some pins in this last game. Alright, disregard everything I just said. We're going to take a risk. Oh, complete opposite to how we wanted to finish tonight. 7-10 and then a bad shot 2-8-10 and then we just couldn't kick the corners out when we were hoping to just save the game. Super annoying, super frustrating, but it's over. So now you gotta let it go, even though it's just happened. I just want to take my shoes off, have a really hot shower, just try to let it all go, come in tomorrow, and catch the pins that I lost tonight. So that's kind of my MO anyway, catching pins. Was hoping I didn't have to do it this tournament, but here we go again. Alrighty, so day 1 recap. Definitely not miserable. Had a chance to, walking the cool breeze outside to kind of calm down after that last game. But look, overall, you know, sitting top 20 after the first day, I definitely didn't think like that was my strongest oil pattern of the 2 oil patterns. And so, you know, I could have been a lot further down the leaderboard and I would have had to make a bigger run tomorrow. So yeah, overall, yeah, I'm not thrilled, but I'm not miserable. So the idea is to kind of take the good from the bad, kind of realize, you know what, you're doing better than normally this season in the majors, and so that's a positive. And then it's time to really get on it tomorrow on a pattern that's a little longer, 45 feet. I definitely felt like in the practice session I had a better look, and so I got to make it count. So tomorrow is going to be a day about, you know, really throwing some strikes. And you know, if anyone out there can throw a lot of strikes, it's me. And that's what I'm going to say to myself as soon as I walk through those doors at Carolina. But now it's bedtime, and I'm very excited to just close my eyes, drift into dreamland, where I will be imagining the 300 games that I will be bowling tomorrow, and then actually doing it tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you have, and if you haven't, it's okay. You don't have to. I would appreciate it, because then you won't miss out on day 2, which is coming real soon. G'day, thanks for watching. If you loved this one, check out the rest of the videos from this playlist or any other playlist. Make sure that you like the video and please subscribe if you would love to be the first to catch any of the latest of the behind the scenes and a whole lot of other cool stuff.